think that we actually got a lot smarter in handling this budget, especially in the last couple of years with the changes in the statutes of the priority of payments, and we anticipated that there would be a reduction in our program fees, like it has happened, and that has, and the coordinators were a lot more proactive in anticipating that, and I think we're just really gotten better each year of just, shall I say, finessing the budget. Really, when you look at the summary sheet I submitted, the difference is really just like a couple dollars shy of $600, but the budget went up. So that's the only difference. And again, a lot of that is just the simplicity of just moving a couple, $100 from one line item to the other. The kind of finesse things as coordinators get a better handle on of the revenues, as well as just where the expenses are. And again, with, it's, we're all experiencing a lot of changes. And so we're just going to make a few tweaks. So that's the simplicity of this particular budget. I'll open it up for any questions, comments, or concerns.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Hey, Paul, I just had, if someone was looking at your budget and it talks about, Butte County and Custer County and those other counties, is there a way of showing that that's not actual Bonneville County expense? It's another county expense that could be noted in your, if someone was just saying, hey, I want to look at the drug court budget, is there any other way that could be more highlighted, that it's not Bonneville County taxpayers in any regard, shape, or form?
We can explore the option of trying to do a standalone trust fund, so to speak, but again, it will still be in Bonneville County and it will still say some of the things. We initially, I'm not sure if I using the correct terms, but we tried to take that UA test and group it in a certain sub budget within this drug court budget, so that it's a lot more cleaner as far as making sure people understand that Bonneville obviously is not paying for Butte County, and it also gives us a better accountability to Idaho Supreme Court when they say, hey, we sent you money, can you account for that? And we can say yes, and this provides a clean way. But that has been some discussion that's, how to do that. And I think every year, I think we get better and making some of those tweaks as you're referring to.
And I might add one thing, Dave, along those lines is also on the revenue. We can track very clearly the stream of revenue that comes in from the Supreme Court for that. So if that question were raised, we'd be able to show that revenue, I believe. Don't you think, Paul?
Most definitely, and that was one of the reasons before the implementation of Munis, we kind of had a very Bert Butler puzzle of trying to separate everything out. We had like little mini budgets inside of the drug court because we wanted to kind of create some of those accountability and transparency, obviously, so not only to the state, but also to everyone else, to make sure everybody understood, again, that it was a fiscal pass-through in those circumstances.
Yeah, like the Upper Valley, you're probably referring to Jefferson, Madison, Fremont. Is that kind of how you've lumped that together on the upper?
Yes, and actually it technically includes Teton, because Teton and Upper Valley, as you alluded to, kind of share some of the same governing board, same coordinator, and so same resources, and so we kind of utilize it that way. You bet.
Except for Teton, and in 2018, you had them broke out separate for their actuals. You see that?
Looking at the screen, yeah. So, and I think we started getting away from that, trying to simplify in the effort when there was really just an ungodly amount of line items that every budget had. And during that, about 2018, 2017, we all made efforts to condense the line items to make it so much more cleaner and simpler. And I think that's what you're seeing is the transformation of that.
What captured Clark County? Was that in the Upper Valley as well? Or there wasn't much drug testing out there? What happened?
I don't see Clark County on the screen here yet.
So they must be in the Upper Valley then?
Yeah, I mean, Clark County was really more the idea of do you go to Rexburg for your drug court or do you go to Bonneville County for your drug court? And then those programs of and in themselves would just take care of that. I mean, it's, again, one of those things.
Well, thanks, Paul. That's all the questions I had.
Tammie, Penny reminded me that about the courtroom. Or do you know where we're at on that, or what's the plan there?
So I visited with Judge Watkins about that, and he had a conversation with Roger, I believe. So I'm a little out of the loop other than they're working on the money potentially to come in through COVID if we need to. What my understanding is that they had a conversation that if that comes to fruition, we would need to be thinking about adding into our facilities and potentially our capital line items here. I don't call it the right accounting word, I apologize, but for district court capital about things like furniture and fixtures and things like that. I think it's been about a week or so since I heard the status on that, unless you guys know anything about potential money for that courtroom. I know the Supreme Court has us in the budget to do the audio on that courtroom if needed, but I haven't gotten the go-ahead and put it into the budget at this point, and I think Roger mentioned something about being able to reopen the budget if that came to fruition, but we could go and take care of that if we think it's going to move forward a little bit more.
So Roger indicated to me this morning that he would like to have a placeholder of $100,000 in the budget for the courthouse. And I'm not sure where we put that, whether we want to put it in the 118 budget or in the 730 in a capital line. That's something we'll have to find out. He's hoping that they will probably contract a lot of that out rather than do it in-house so it can move forward more quickly. So with that being the case, we want that placeholder in this budget. So do you know where it will go? 730 or
well, maybe. I've got a couple more questions. Is it just for the facilities or would it be furniture and fixtures as well? Do you know? We can get some clarity.
Well, obviously, if we move forward with the whole thing, I don't know where the $100,000 number came in, but I'm guessing that's contract to get it moving forward. But I'm guessing that if that's the case, you're going to need to have something in there for furniture and fixtures as well.
Yeah, what I'm asking, I guess, is that $100,000 for everything or just the construction part of it, and we might need to add a little bit more or divide it up? I can ask.
Yeah, let's follow up with Roger.
Well, let's do that, and that'll be great. And I think that the construction portion is probably going to go in your, we'll get it in there, Penny. We'll take a look at it and be sure which one to put it in.
When you get that figured out, send an email to Ron and myself. You guys can't change numbers in there right now, so we can get that added.
Okay, we'll get that to you ASAP.
Thanks, Tammie.
Hey, Tammie, I just had one other quick thing. I really enjoyed working with Bert over the years, but it's been great to get to know you better. And Dee and Paul, thanks for all your work there. You know, I think what you do is God's work. I really do. So keep up the good work.
Well, thank you. We're going to miss you, but it's, you know, it's been an adventure, I'll tell you, these 2 years here with everything in the courts. But thank you.
I hear from Jenny sometimes that Bert's doing good, though. He's biking and doing good, so.
He is. He's off in some foreign country right now, I think. He got his house sold, and he has his house up in Fremont County, and he's doing good.
Yeah, that's great. See you later.
So did you want her to address the 10 county things, or you're just good with the way she set it up?
I think it's fine. The way
Okay,
it's set
all
up.
right.
I think we're good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let's meet in person next year.
Let's please, like in a month or two would be great. Good luck, thanks.
Yeah.
Kelly Mallard is the next one that's supposed to be on.
Okay, I don't see anybody in the waiting room.
Okay, but he might just be a minute behind. So he's in the 110.
Last I heard, it's questionable if that COVID money will help with the courtroom, right? Did you hear something
I
different?
haven't heard anything on that.
Okay.
That actually has been a good move to get Mark out of there, I'll just tell you. I think it's been better for the public to be, you know, to have the treasurer's office over across the street.
Well, I can tell you the courts are really going to miss that room unless we can make it a multi-purpose room courthouse, because they use that for meetings on a daily basis. And so that's what I've asked them to
Really?
focus that direction to see if we can't find a way to make it so it's more multi-purpose, so that it's not.
So it can be a courtroom and a multi-purpose.
That's my hope,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's possible, if I'm dreaming or not, but
Yeah.
I've asked them to kind of think that direction. So,
You didn't get anything done on your screen, huh, Ron? Did Brian figure that out?
Well,
I don't want
we
to hear more.
sort of figured it out together,
Okay.
and we do have that one on.
Oh, you do have it working now? Okay.
Yeah, Ron,
I
thanks
was
for
just
getting me
gonna
back
look
to
at
that page 2. When, as you know, I can't screen through it, but I appreciate you. You kind of, when I'm talking about something, you got me right there, so thanks.
We try.
Well, I might pop my head upstairs for a minute. Are you gonna go up?
Who's coming in next,
should
Mallard?
be Kelly Mallard. He hasn't had any changes to his budget. He didn't even change any line items. So I don't know if you want to look it over if he doesn't come in. At 11:30, we've got Shay coming for adult probation.
Oh, we'll walk upstairs real quick and be right back.
And if he comes, do you want me to text you?
If he comes, yeah,
Okay,
text me. You will, he'll probably call you, but he'll appear on here in the waiting room, so you'll have to let him in.
okay.
Can't go up there.
How do I let him in?
Um,
Oh,
It'll say admit right here.
okay, all right. I'll watch for him.
So I guess you get a break, John. Are you
Well,
glad
I'll
to
unmute
not have?
my mic and
What's
said, how
that?
are things? I said, how are things?
Busy. So you don't have any competition in the fall that we know of, right?
No, nothing on the Democrat ticket. Somebody decides to run a write-in campaign, and who knows about the Libertarians or the,
Well, they all had to file in March as well.
oh,
In Canada, yeah, any candidate who wanted to run, and we didn't have anybody that filed. So
but
unless
it'd
it's
just
a
be
write,
write-in.
yeah.
Somebody asked me about that, and I said, well, they said write-ins never win. I said, no. My grandfather organized a write-in campaign for Donald Duck for mayor in Twin Falls, and Donald Duck won the election.
Oh, you're
Against-
kidding.
Against the incumbent, yeah. But the incumbent got sworn in because Donald Duck didn't show up.
That's funny.
But he actually did, yeah.
We've had a couple of really active write-in campaigns in the last 20 years. It's an uphill battle for a write-in.
Oh, yeah. If you could do a lot of legwork and you had lots of money to throw at high visibility advertising, and there was, well, I don't know. I would think it would take a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah, we haven't, like I said, we haven't seen one win. We've seen successful campaigns. Jim Francis on the city, he was one of our most recent and quite successful, but he still didn't. So So, and now he's on the city, because he came on as a legitimate candidate next go around, so.
Yeah. Well, he got name recognition out of his write-in campaign, probably.
Yeah,
Did he
Well,
run on an open seat when he,
he did.
see, we weren't in town for that one, I don't think.
Yeah, I believe it was an open seat. I'm trying to remember whose seat it was. They had quite a turnover there with deaths and resignations and that kind of thing. I'd have to go back and look. Sorry,
Yeah,
can't remember.
Just curious. You watching the Minnesota news?
Not lately. I know I should be, but I don't
Well,
have time.
their city council met last night and voted to defund law enforcement.
Oh, I'd heard that. Yes, that is insane.
Sunday, this morning, I guess they met. Sunday, they announced that several people tweeted they were going to, and then they had their meeting this morning and actually voted 9-4 to defund their law enforcement.
I think that's a huge mistake. How do you feel about that?
Well, what do you do? Their plan is to turn the funding over to civic groups. At what point does the governor send in state police to start enforcing all the violent crimes?
Right?
Boy, or the sheriff, because the sheriff has technically jurisdiction if there's not, but I don't know what Minnesota law is, but
Yeah, but who's gonna show up if there's no pay, right?
well, yeah, I mean, if they defund the city police, the sheriff's still funded, but not for the extra call volume.
Yeah.
So, but protecting the citizens, wow. I've got a nephew who just qualified to go to the police academy for Idaho Falls. He goes in August. And I'm thinking we should be out collectively, publicly supporting our law enforcement.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame all these things have happened to give some law enforcement a bad name, because overall they're a very vital part of our community.
Yeah. But so the court's starting to spin back up now?
Yeah, I mean, they're in full, they're doing a lot of video stuff right now, but they are in full swing except for juries, and we start up juries in August. But it's, yeah, I mean, a lot of things are still video teleconferences and stuff like that, but I think that's more going to be the direction they stay rather than just a temporary thing. We do require them to all wear masks when they come in,
Right.
as per the Supreme Court.
That. Expect they'll be,
No, the governor's press conference upstairs has to do with property taxes.
that's at 12:30, right?
What's that?
That's at 12:30?
No, it was at 10:30. Up here in Centennial.
They
Oh, so
just
what's
finished up.
Oh, Roger told me that 12:30 to 1 on the steps of the courthouse. Is that a
It
different-
changed.
Oh.
It changed at the last minute.
Oh, did he show up?
Darn.
Yeah.
I forgot to watch.
Oh, no, he's not there. Do we need to call him?
I don't have even a number to call Kelly.
Darn, I was gonna come down for it.
Yeah, sorry we missed you. There was a few up there in the room. I don't have Kelly's number in my directory here.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't even know how to reach him. Should I
See ya.
see for-
Ruby's got it.
Okay. It has to do with them limiting our 3%, not having us take our 3%. We do get our new construction. But anything that we don't use, we'll even foregone for future use. But it's a property tax relief function, and our county has thrown support behind that. So partly because part of this is they say that the COVID relief fund could pay for the payroll of our like law enforcement, public health, and public safety personnel. If we go with this tax relief, I don't know if we will or not. I think that's still up in the air.
What was it, fund? The
COVID relief
federal one?
fund.
The legislature authorized it.
It's federal fund, federal
Oh, it's
dollars.
federal.
That they've said that they would pay for emergency responders and that kind of thing. So if they do that, they're hoping that we can put our budgets.
Federal dollars, that just means we're paying for.
We're paying for it
another
another
way of
direction.
federal
I
government.
know, yeah. It's easy for just. So I have a number of people who haven't signed up for their meetings yet.
Mhm.
Said he's in a hearing,
Okay,
so not gonna see him probably.
so do you want me to schedule a new time to meet with him, or do you want to go with? what
Let's
we
just
have?
go with what we've got. Have you got it up? Is that his budget?
That's his, there wasn't any change.
There wasn't any change. Is there any,
Left it exactly the same, no increase.
is there any fat in it we can take out? See, let me go to, so, help me out, Ron, how do I get to it? So when I go, I'm in Munis on mine, I go to projection account, which one do I go to?
In that
Department.
word box you're in right now.
Go to the org, okay.
Yeah, so on the schedule that Penny provided, it has their org number with each one of them. So for his, you can type that into the org box.
110, see, where am I?
26.
26. Oh, and it comes up right there.
Then you can click OK and OK.
I
Oh,
don't
take
need
that one out.
Yeah. Okay, so that, okay.
And there it is.
I thought the orgs were similar in other departments, but each department's got their own org. What does org stand for?
Organization code.
It's a
what I thought.
combination between the fund that they're in, a CAFR number, and then their three-digit department number.
Okay,
And so if you just see one of mine in the book with just a three-digit number, that means they're an independent fund, then you can just type them in the fund.
okay,
Like on Tammie's that we did before, Paul Megdo, we just had Fund 114.
Yeah, yeah. If and I put an asterisk or a dash there because they have both capital expenses and regular budget, and they have a different CAFR number in the middle, and that way you access the whole budget as opposed to just a portion of the budget.
okay.
Or, I mean, it's referring to CAFR, that's the fourth digit, always the fourth digit.
Okay,
Or if it can change.
That
Capital
helps.
is always 9, so if you see a 9 in the fourth bid that has a capital.
So,
well, I don't see a lot in it. It's not a big budget, is it?
no, it's not. It's just him and his secretary and
He didn't raise
Some
any.
travel area,
Did Kelly ever call in?
a little bit in.
He's in court, I guess.
Okay.
I just, yeah, Ruby tried to find him, but we're just looking at his now. There's really not.
Penny, you said no change, right?
yeah.
I'm hoping we see a change
To go down.
going lower on every one of these this year.
Yeah, that's what
But I can't,
One problem we will have this year is travel. Anything travel related will be skewed. And so we're going to have to use past years for anticipation for
right.
travel, for scheduling travel.
Yeah, because I don't think we ought to go anywhere. I mean, there's some question about the summer conferences even for IAC or anything right now even, still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this budget's for next year, you know.
Right.
So it'll probably be done by then, I hope.
He hasn't used much in some of these lines, though. He hasn't used any.
Yeah, there's some, but
Wouldn't that, you know, but
Yeah,
if they could get a vaccine, this whole thing would change, this whole thing.
Dues and memberships, it's like, are high.
so there's a little bit of room in education license and certification. Looks like he's been running over on that every year. He's only been using about 400 for the high. He's got 1,500.
Do you want to reduce it to 1,000?
Yeah, reduce that to 1,000.
then
Is that on Kelly's?
Yeah,
What's the object code on that one?
52730.
I'm just looking for spots where we could cut a little out. Transcripts, copies, he's not even using that line item, but he's got $1,000 in it. I'm sure they need copies and transcripts. I wonder where he's taking that out of. He's had $1,000 in there every year and never used it.
The other thing I don't know is how this works in conjunction with the public defender.
Oh,
And if any of his budget comes out of public defense, a lot of that's funded by state. So it may be that they're,
let's cut that to 500, just because he's not using it.
54,500. That's 500.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot, but I want to see all of these down just a little.
It's certainly the right direction.
I guess if he has questions and there's reasons for this, he can set up another time to meet with you
Yeah.
and discuss it.
Yeah.
I will let him know that you cut those line items.
Okay.
Okay.
His actual in the jury witness, I hate to mess with that one, but it was only 107 in 19. That's 1,000. Hasn't spent any out of it for 20.
I'm going to call Shay and see if he's ready.
Okay.
Or, oh, it's calling on.
Brian calling you. Are you ready to Brian?
Would you go along with me, Brian, to cut jury witness down to 500?
Sure,
Used
there's
it.
room there. Sorry, Penny, I was just for
Did you do that?
I did that over at elections a lot when I was.
Oh, did you?
Ron?
My thing had come up and I couldn't answer my phone, so I'd either sit there and watch it ring or I'd answer, and then I wouldn't talk. People are like, what are you doing? So I learned really quick just to let it go to.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. It's just the way I do it when I'm at my desk.
The bottom line, 500, 55,000.
Yeah, that looks good, Dave.
Thank you, guys. We leave that 1,000 in there on miscellaneous.
So we've trimmed $2,000
A pretty small budget.
out of a small budget, so that's good.
There's one that he hasn't used, travel ready, well, ready, 425 there.
That would be more than 5% out of his B and C budget then. Can I filter in Munis to only bring up B and C? I can probably.
You can export it to an Excel. I mean, you can.
Yeah, I've been doing that, but I can't do it on the screen
Yeah.
here.
You can do it on the screen. What you do is,
Go to advanced.
so you click on advanced viewer, and then on the objects, if you type in 50200, that's the first one below salaries and benefits. So go ahead and click on that and say, okay. But that'll only show you one, so you need to put a colon in there behind that.
Colon,
A colon,
right here.
that. And then 59999.
So that
The
brings
colon
up
will give
everything
you a
below.
range, but it'll leave the top part off, the salaries and
Okay.
benefits. Whoops.
Didn't do it.
And did you put that in the
Yes, sir.
object?
Is it- Yeah, in the object,
Spot.
and that's a colon. You gotta try it on mine, that's supposed to work.
You straight in.
I'm looking for it. He's not yet.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he just got in.
It worked on mine.
That's all right. Let's go ahead and do Shay and then we'll,
If you have spaces in wrong, or there's a number of things.
So that object line should be 50200 colon 59999. Go get Shay in there.
hi Shay. Can you hear us okay? Shay, are you hearing us? Looks like he's searching. Shay, can you hear me? John, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. I found the most common problem is when people log in, they fail to click use internet audio.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna call him.
Now I can relax.
How'd it go?
I think it went pretty well.
There.
Probably 25,
Say,
doesn't
just
work.
social distance.
Can you hear me yet, Shay?
We are on, if you go into under the 112 tab and then look for 790 is the last three digits. You're gonna get it this time?
Hello.
Hey Shay, you can hear us now?
No, that's a, oh.
I'm not able to. I'm not getting anything on the video here. Let me log out real quick and I'll log right back in.
Okay, yeah, because we can see you.
Yeah.
We can hear you, we just can't.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
So you said the budget was in soon.
Brian's chopping at him now.
Huh?
Brian's chopping at him now. He's chopping at
We
everybody's
both
budget.
have been.
Keep me updated on a list of chops.
Kelly Mallard, he chopped about $2,000, just line items that hadn't been used, like jury witness. Subscriptions, fees. I turned off the
Which
page.
is fine as long as we have our own capital needs plan. You
Yeah, that had nothing to do with capital.
know? I know. But
I know, I know,
There's got to be a percentage over we do.
I know.
Waiting for you.
That's the one that depends on where we end up overall budget-wise.
Yeah, when you talked 100,000, one question came up on the courts. Was that just for the facility or did that include,
Technology,
furniture and fixtures?
I think so, because all you're talking about is this type of stuff.
Can you hear us now, Shay?
Cutting a hole through the wall, back in the vault. HVAC is nothing. Carpet, and the equipment, probably was permanent amount.
And were you talking in the court facilities fund or in the district court fund?
All right, Shay, can you hear us now?
If we have a budget, if not, we'll advance it.
Okay, the court facilities one, that's one that comes into from state, right? Not the court facilities. Yeah, that's what.
Can you hear us yet, Shay?
And the capital in the
What's
district
our
court.
balance?
Shay?
109, the
118.
Facilities.
Why, that's not working for him?
Just told the governor what a wonderful job we were doing. with all this technology.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but I'm not able to hear anybody.
I can hear you, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Shay.
It's sign language, but we can't read it, so. That way you can ask for anything you want, and we won't understand it.
Can he call in with his phone?
Yeah, just trying to get this plugged in.
Is that a phone?
Yeah, it's the phone out of my office.
No, is that a phone line?
You call my cell phone, but I only got 9% left.
He
The
can call my
blue-
cell
The
phone.
blue ones are behind your phone lines. That might be a data line.
Well,
Have him call this extension right here.
I can't get that extension.
13.
Oh.
Just call that.
What's his, wonder what his extension is?
Logged out again.
His extension is 3002.
Oh,
We can hear you now.
yeah, we might have to do it by phone. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right. We've got you on the phone now.
Just a bit shy of 200,000.
Oh, so you've got plenty of time.
So you can try logging back in if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
We've got plenty of time.
Okay, and that's in the 118.
Yeah, it's that 118. So we've got.
Okay, I just admitted you.
We may be able to fine tune that number after Steve's here, which we think.
Well, he's not on, would you pull up the 118, put 100,000 in there for spending authority?
Okay.
Oh, he's on, never mind. We'll do it after.
All right, Shay.
Yeah,
We're ready for you. Let's have you go ahead and go through what you talked to Tammie about. I don't mean to take your place, Roger. Am I speaking out to you?
no,
Are
you're
you
talking about me?
or?
Yeah, you.
I didn't really have any changes to the budget this year. Not asking for any increase.
Well, we're asking for a decrease. So.
Right.
Well, that's what we'll do then.
No, I mean, are there areas, I've been kind of looking at the line items to see if there are areas that we've been budgeting, just haven't been using, you know, if we could
Right.
use some out that way without affecting your operation.
There, yeah, so this year, as we talked recently about, is, I'm hoping for this, you know, jump in revenue. I would say that when I look at my 50430 supplies equipment, there's 7,000 in there. You know, that doesn't seem to be used all the way out.
Which one's that? Oh.
50430.
Do you have equipment or things going in there that you anticipate needing that you haven't needed in the past?
No, I mean, what I'm looking at here is, you know, I just printed this the other day and it was, there's still quite a bit of money left in that line.
Okay. How much should we reduce that then? Take a couple thousand out of it?
Yeah, I would think it was, the appropriation was 7,000, we move it to 5.
I don't want to reduce any of this one.
Okay.
To have a shot because this is only really, and for example, these counties, we've got to have probably 10%. It's okay to adjust items. But let's keep track of those kinds of and then we can start.
Okay, can you hear Roger?
Yes.
That mic works well.
We need a circular camera.
Yeah, it would work well.
I don't have a grocery list, or store. I think that's what, Roger, I heard you say.
Grocery list is not our part.
Oh, okay.
So we'll keep, that 2,000 in equipment on a list here. And after we see a little closer where revenues, then we may make the adjustment.
Okay.
It looked to me like also in travel, that we've got budgeted a lot more than you have been using the last few years. I know you're new to it. Is that, do you anticipate needing more there?
No, I don't. And like, I talked with you guys in our meetings before about these, you know, these out of state, trainings. I would prefer that we keep these local trainings.
Could you use some of that, that you're not using for out-of-state training? Yeah.
Right.
And that's one reason that we'll stop till we work towards that. So I think that's a more cost-effective way.
Right.
By Zoom or however you line up and pay the trainers, train your people here.
Right. And I'm all for that. These out-of-state and going out-of-state trainings are very expensive.
And that may result in a net reduction. But until you figure out what kind of things you want, maybe you have to do a little work on that.
Okay.
And see what's out there and what it would cost to bring them into here.
Right. Well, there's plenty of web-based trainings that people can do too, you know.
Right.
Which is something we look at.
Forever across the board, yeah. Doing more web-based training. Yeah.
And also travel. Other years, just this year, travel's been hit by the shutdown, putting hand travel.
Right. Okay, well, I think that's it.
Thanks, Shay.
Yeah, you know, I'm like I said, my goal is to really increase this revenue. And so that's where, you know, which I think should really offset a lot of these things.
Well, that sounds great. We're really glad to have you in that position.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. But yeah, we should see a significant increase in revenue from the drug testing for the felony thing, and then also now the pretrial services fee collections we've worked out with the courts. That should be a $50,000 to $60,000 increase in revenue.
So you've been there long enough now. Are you rethinking your decision, or are things going all right for you?
No, I really enjoy it actually.
Good.
Yeah.
Really enjoy it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been great. So.
Good. All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, is that it then, or?
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
So,
Until this afternoon, right?
Yep, till 2 o'clock.
so Roger, help me understand then, why not make the adjustments right now?
Till we see the total of it. And it's still a little early to look at the numbers on what they're spending.
We don't have any idea where revenues are gonna be.
Yeah. See
But
what,
does that matter? If we're budgeting more than we need to spend, what difference does it make what revenues are?
as revenues are going down. I just assumed, we've done other years. Let's see what the overall picture is before we jump and make.
So you're afraid we gotta plug it with,
I'm nervous about that.
um,
But then you don't have to come back and reconstruct everything that they've asked for.
right?
We've always done that in major funds. Here's your wish list, shopping list. And then when we find out what revenues are available, maybe we need to take some of that headroom out and shrink that revenue. Because, the governor was talking about, 15 to 17% drop today up there.
Was he here or was he on?
Oh, he's here.
Really?
Him and the pro tem, Becky,
Where was Becky?
I don't know, he had something last minute come up.
There are quite a few legislators upstairs too.
I think he's trying to keep peace with his House members. He wants to not look like he's an active participant in all this. That's my sense. Let's just see what everybody asks for, but then keep a list when the time comes to balance revenues. If we could come close to balancing revenues to spending this year, that's a huge accomplishment. Sets us up for the things rebound.
It just concerns me though, because if we don't do it now, so you say we can come back in later and drop these.
Oh, yeah, this is just a presentation, whatever,
Yeah.
so we understand what they're asking for. And then we sit down 2 or 3 work sessions and go through each budget, talk about each one as we go. And then avoid.
Then pull our notes out where we think
Yeah.
they can drop it down.
It'll avoid contentious situation with the sheriff as much as it'll make. We just listen and then
Okay.
it's like, I don't want to draw this gun too fast until we have time to understand where we are,
Well, I see, when I came into before, when I started working for the county, the philosophy was spend every cent in your budget or you won't get it back again. I think we're gonna see going to that again with jobs and stripping.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out a happy medium so that we're not overspending, saving what we need without penalizing the departments that are spending freely.
And like the governor said on reopening, if he does that, it's going to be looking at the hotspot areas and making adjustments. This isn't going to be uniform. Basically, the budgets, they're in confidence that they're not going to spend it. Until we get a handle on the sheriff's operation, his needs to be up there. 'Cause whatever you set that, we'll spend it.
Still with that philosophy, so we have to figure out how we can, if you cut things and there's room for even increase, some kind of a cost of living increase for employees.
Yeah.
This year? I'm glad I'm not making that decision, because
Well,
I just kind of feel good about that.
you might be making that decision.
And we'd be the only county on the cost of living this year.
I'm just saying that that's a scenario. I'm not saying this year, I'm saying.
See, that's the fear of jumping to a conclusion too quick before we see the numbers.
I think that's right. I think we ought to see the numbers a little bit too, but.
Yeah. See, because the decrease in revenue sharing and interest. And our interest we counted on was $700,000 or $800,000 a year. I mean, we're gonna lose $400,000 or $500,000 out of that to cover along with the revenue sharing.
My concern comes as if there's already, and we're a political subdivision of the state of Idaho, and they've already told, the governor's already told, and the legislature too has told every state agency to lower it by 10%. If the counties are out there saying, well, we can go up 3%, that's not, in fact, we get penalized on this property tax money if we use the foregone and go up 3%.
That's not even related.
Oh, sure it is. It's an overall philosophy if you go for a cost of living increase.
But I think we're gonna go for the 0% plus the new, but we will have money for new construction. And then at the end, because I agree with Penny, and that's the way the whole thing was set up and worked fine, even in the sheriff's office. It's how we build up those reserves for projects until they run off the rails. The others should be penalized for that.
I'm all for continuing to build, especially if we link it to a future need, so that it's tied to.
Yes, and we're to that phase now.
Yeah.
We're done with those, this year will be the, putting the icing on the cake to have a sustainable budget, because, and I keep picking on her as an example, because you understand that. Your election, 1.5 million, okay? It should be so much of our ongoing budget.
Yeah.
See, that's where, if you're going to reduce in one line, maybe you reallocate it to a line that says, we're putting, if all we can come up with to fit in the tax structure, we've got us $200,000 a year, and it happens in 5 years. We've got $500,000 to come up with on that. But that's where when we get this pool of money that we identified at the end, okay, there's a project. If we have 10 million, now we have a 9.5 unallocated. Walk through those little ones first, and then look at another road project or two, because that's where we're falling way behind.
Yeah.
And I do think that
3% of the foregone isn't anything to do with cost of living or anything. So we're not, if we take the 3%, doesn't mean we're going to do the cost of living. We've got to evaluate all of the revenue. It's early in the process.
So you're saying no counties will do a cost of living? So
I have a hard time believing they will if there's pressure from the state, because what happens is the state employees get cut 10%, including the education. And if you cut
Their employees are not getting cut 10%.
well, their budgets are.
Yeah.
But how do you lower your budget 10% if 90% of the budget is employees?
Well,
When you figure.
There's no furloughs, there's no curtailments like there was back in 2008. That hasn't been.
It's early, but I would just say, I wouldn't put out there right now that we're going to do a 3% cost of living, because.
No, nobody, yeah.
3% cost of living are two separate, completely separate discussions. But the 3%, and see, we're in good shape because of our new construction to do this. And hopefully, as soon as we can come up with some estimates, I'll start talking to Blake and we can get an overall value figure. And as soon as we come up with the cost of reimbursement of our first responders when they get those, we can, and it will help in Board of Equalization hearings, we can talk about roughly what percent reduction in, not levy, but their property tax, if that's 15%. Plus, on top of that, that's the other thing, if we don't take the 3%, take new construction, and new construction is quite high, valuations are quite high. If valuations go up like we did last year, 12% across the board, and you don't take the 3% and then down, the levy goes down roughly 12%. But you gotta be careful because, you know, they hit me higher, 12% on my 2 duplexes, a bunch higher. So, you know, I walked in there and said, well, you told me that, you know, my taxes would go down 12%. No, your levy will go down 12%. But if the increase in value is higher than 12%, on the other hand, those who have 8%, you know, their taxes actually will go down.
Did you get yours?
I got mine went up 15%.
Yours went up 15?
I don't know percentage. Let's see.
Mine went up about 8%, which is probably pretty accurate with the market. I mean, I couldn't really dispute mine.
I think they made the mistake on my home, on my lot, which I haven't caught, they took more than, out on my lot. They gave me a large lot size on my 10 acres.
Mine went up 15%.
It did.
I think you're gonna be looking at the same increases we did last year.
All the farm ground came down a little. The irrigated ag, all of my irrigated came down just a little.
The good news for you is you can reestablish a connection, as mine went up and it's dry grazing. You know who else across the canyon is dry grazing? Tom.
It went up a little, huh? Again, it went up last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the irrigated ag came down a little, which makes sense because grain markets have been coming down. I mean, it's market driven, so it reflected it.
And it'll come down in the future because of this year's potato prices.
That's what I think. Potato prices have not been good.
Not
But
this,
it's the 5-year rolling down.
since the
It
COVID.
takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
Is there any market for potatoes yet?
It's coming back a little bit. The demand's picking up. So we're sold out. Yeah, they finished ours a couple weeks ago.
So now it'll go back up to.
Probably. That's usually typical.
Did you lose a lot on storage money, storage costs?
We lost about $7 a hundred when that COVID deal hit
That's what I'm,
on 80,000 sacks. So quite a bit of money.
quite a bit of money.
It just went like that.
That's what I like about the governor's approach to this, because it spreads it across the property taxpayers.
Yeah.
You've got all these areas where people get employment, they get the subsidies, they get the checks, you know, but there's nothing for landlords who get stiff on rent. Because of this, there's businesses, and when they come in and want a reduction, you know, there's, you know, they've got these business grants the governor was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones that really hurt, the businesses that had to shut down and still pay property taxes. Those folks are hurting.
Well, we start up again at 2,
A 2.
Fair Board.
I'm just gonna leave my computer here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Yep.
This is my house.
So we're gonna start again at 2, John.
I forgot you were eavesdropping on us.
Well, that's okay, Roger, because I couldn't hear you. I could hear Brian and Dave just fine. But
My wife kept texting me, and of course I didn't pick him up during the press conference. It says, "You're still speaking so quietly, they having a hard time hearing you on Facebook." So.
I don't know about you, John, but I had to buy hearing aids when I got in here. Just
I'll
I
bring
got mine
that
about
big-
4 months ago, so I'm
I'll bring
good.
that big home and show you though.
Yeah,
Even though I
speak
speak
softly and
softly.
work and have a big stick.
We've got a lot of, if it's going okay for you, great. If you want to drop in, there's a lot of room in here to spread out. So you're welcome to pop in, you know, if you want sometime.
Yeah, I'll have the office all cleaned up for you on January 7th,
Sanitized.
sanitized. You'll like it, John. I know you wanted to win and you ran a good campaign.
Well, appreciate that.
Thanks.
You
Thanks.
proved that it's not money that
Yes.
wins. I like that.
You proved that 2 times, if you try twice, you can win, so that's what I might have to do.
Yep, so 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.